Good morning, friends. Welcome to Miss Lori's Craft Room. Today we're going to be making this little ruffled rose. It's exactly the same flower as we've been making the other rolled rose is, but we use some scissors that have a jiggly edge to make this. So let's get started. So you need cardstock in your choice of colors, whatever color you want your roses to be. You need a pair of scissors. These are, I guess you can still buy them. I know you can buy them in packs. This one is just really a jiggly, jagged edge, okay? Your tweezers, your hot glue gun, some kind of ink that you want, a bowl of water, your egg carton, and a microwave. Okay, as you guys can see, I got a nice mat here. This is not new, but I found it and I put it on here. I'm so excited. So you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut your square, or actually you're going to cut your circle. Excuse me. Okay, so you're going to take your jiggly scissors and you're just going to go. This first thing we're just doing is we're making a circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It just is a sort of circle, okay? And if you've watched my videos before, you know that it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be jiggly. Okay? So then you're going to put it in your water. And this is the cardstock from Joann's that you sell individually. It absorbs paper super fast, so you only need to put it in there for a few seconds. Okay, some of the smoother papers don't absorb water as fast, so you need to leave them in a little bit longer. It's up to you. You don't want it too sopping wet or it will rip. Okay, and then all you're going to do is sort of carefully jumble it up. You're just going to squish it. Okay, and then you're just going to carefully unroll it. Okay, so then what I do is, usually of course I'm making 50 flowers at once, so I will fill up my egg cartons and I'll stack them on top of each other, and if I don't need them till the next day, I'll just set them aside to dry. But if I want them right away, which is usually because I don't like to wait, take them to the microwave, and you can do like 4 or 5 stacks, whatever will fit in your microwave. And I start with 3 minutes microwaving them, and then we take them off and we usually feel them to our face to see if they're cold still. And if they're a little cold still, then we just stick them back in there until they're dry. Be careful. You could, if you go too long, you might burn it, but I never have done that yet. So just watch it. Usually I start with 3 minutes and then go a minute at a time. Okay, so then once they're dry, they're going to be really stiff, which is really cool, and you're going to have all this great texture in it. Okay, so I've been kind of messing around with it, and see, and so this one is a pink one I did. And it's a really light pink, and so I took this spun sugar from Tim Holtz, and I ran it all over it. And when it dries, I mean, you can barely see it, and this is a really super light ink. So when it dries, you're just gonna see it's gonna be really super subtle, but that's really nice because I wanted this rose to be a super soft pink. I wanted it to be pink. So, but if you wanted to make it so it was a little more bold, you could just go like that, and then you can really see. We're getting a glare here. Let's turn this off. You can really see where it's going to. Now this is going to dry lighter, but it takes a little bit because this is ink. So for the interest of so that you can really see it, I'm going to do that on this white. This is actually a kind of off-white. And it's going to kind of look like a variegated rose, and it's really cool. Do you know how you can get a variegated rose? They're so pretty. Okay, and so then I'm going to take my jiggly scissors and I'm going to cut my spiral. Okay, so mine ripped, and so you can see I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm just going to start there. And what I usually do is I tend to make it a little you can make it like thinner on the edge and thicker in the middle, or just make it all the same. It doesn't really matter, but if you make it thinner in the middle, then your center will go down. Okay, so you're going to say, how do I have that little thing? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go cut that off. Okay, these scissors are going to take a little bit longer, but the result is just really, really fabulous. Okay, so then you have your little boingy snake. Okay, so get your tweezers, and if you don't have these tweezers, they're pointed. They're fabulous. Your regular tweezers will work just as well, but these are nice because they slip out, and these came in the Sizzix Distressing Toolkit, which I use every day. Okay, so you're going to grab the edge, and you're just going to start twisting towards you. And I don't do it too tight. I just let it do it naturally. Because this paper has been wet, it is a little more, it can rip a little bit easier, so you don't want to be too rough with it. Okay, so, and then a lot of times what I will do is I will kind of tighten it up once it's like that, and then I'll hold it tight with my fingers, and then I'll pull this out. And then I just let it go. And because this paper is so highly textured, it doesn't bling out too much. So I'll let it, depending on what look I want. Sometimes I want them tight, sometimes I want them loose. I kind of let it go out a little bit, not too much. Then I set it down, and I open up the little tab, and I get my hot glue, put quite a bit down there, cover that little tab, and then I hold it down. And usually will pick it up in my hand, try not to burn myself, and kind of smush it like that so that all of the parts adhere. Okay, and you can see, I mean, isn't that just beautiful? It's just a simple little, and see how ruffly it is? I really like that ruffled effect. Let me show you one that's not ruffled. So this isn't glued, but it's one that's not ruffled. So you can see the difference. Whole different look by just using a different pair of scissors. Okay, so then I'm going to ink. Then what I would do is I would ink this. And this is where your flower really comes to life. Honestly, this paper, this color paper I'm using right now, I don't like it at all, but it was a scrap I had, and I really prefer this creamier color. You get much better results. But for now, we're just going to use this because it's what I had. Okay, so you can see that you're just going to get a really, really nice ruffly effect. And here's the little pink one that I made. So pretty. So that's all there is to it. So thanks for joining me, friends. So check out my other videos. Have a fabulous day. Bye.